Blue Dooley. We're out working on the snowplow again. And have you ever thought of something and you're like, man, this is going to be hard, and you make it more complicated than it needs to be, and then one day you're not doing anything and you're like, hey, dumbass, you could do it a lot easier. That's what these body mounts came out to be. I was going to weld, and trim, and then I was like, you could just drill the holes in that you're using for the servos and mount the body that way. So that's what we're doing. I actually already got one mounted to the chassis. We'll bring you around here. And there you go. A body mount. Gives a little bit of clearance between the servo and the body. Not a ton, but just enough. Because I need that body to sit pretty close to them servos anyways. So I have the second one mounted. You can bolt it in place, and then I need to get the body apart or mark it somehow so I know where to drill my holes to mount the body to these plates. So let's get everything lined up first, and then we'll figure out how you get that cab apart. Well, that took a fair amount more work than I thought it was going to. And I cracked this stack getting them off. And I cracked them both. At least that'll be easy to glue. The dashboard actually stayed in the cab along with the windshield. I got the sound unit out, which is just a cheap snap in there. So we can get rid of that, because it doesn't sound very good. Just doesn't have the bass. And I don't need it anyways. So there's that. Now we have the floor, which actually has the puppy dog footprints on it. And it actually has a fair bit of detail. It has the PTO controls and the that would be a stick shift, except I think most of those trucks are now automatic. A cup holder, pedals, so if you're taking one of these apart, you can be careful and actually probably paint up some details in it. Now I just need to get this part separated from this part. You can see my black marks where I marked where those body posts sit. So we'll get some more holes drilled and hopefully get this interior out without tearing too much up. That's the plan anyways. You do need some very, very thin screwdrivers to take these brooders apart. I actually got it off without any troubles at all, so that's nice. And since it's out, like I said, I can add a little paint to the interior and bring out some of them details a little more. That leaves us with just a blank floor plan, or floor pan. English is hard. So we can get it. The holes drilled for that. And then the cab will actually be mounted, which is nice because I can't mount really anything else until I get the cab placed where it needs to be solidly mounted, because the hood is based off of where the cab sits. The dump bed needs to be where the cab sits. So getting the cab fixed up first is probably the most important part. there we go. The cab is mounted. Pick it up by the cab, in fact. Had to get it out with the body on, do a little test drive. The rear end's actually articulate enough. I think that intermediate drive shaft between the two drive axles in the back is actually binding up a little bit, so might actually have to limit suspension travel, which is something I didn't think I'd have to say on this particular build. But I took a snapshot of with the phone to show you the 4 screws I got mounted into the cab. One of my mounts was a little crooked, 2 tiny washers, and it's on there good and sturdy now. The front end doesn't have much articulation. The tires aren't glued on at all. In fact, my 3D printed rim, while it looks really nice, it's about a millimeter too small. So, need to change that up a bit, but there is a short little video of getting the cab mounted on the snowplow. Get the hood mounted up next, and then the dump bed actually will probably be about the easiest part of the whole build. Please click like and subscribe, and we will catch you in the next video.